And we are back. The time has come. It is time for the Champions League semi-finals. This will be my preview and predictions for the two Champions League fixtures taking place this week. You can see on your screen, we are now down to just 4 teams not blacked out from where we started all the way back in September. But that is what we're here to talk about today. These two massive semi-finals, and these will be the first predictions of 5 consecutive daily videos for you on this channel. Tomorrow morning, we'll be doing the Europa League semi-finals. On Wednesday, the Conference League semi-finals. On Thursday, the bonus Premier League fixture. And then Friday, the next round of Premier League predictions as well. So make sure you've hit that subscribe button with notifications turned on so you don't miss out on all of the big predictions we've got coming up for you this week. And drop a like on this video if you do enjoy all of these prediction series. As for the Champions League, though, after the semi-final second legs, you can see that we are on 105 out of 184 with 14 correct scores. Not too bad. We didn't do that well in the second leg, so I think there generally were some big upsets in that second leg. Of course, Arsenal getting the last-minute winner to ruin my 1-1 draw against Real Madrid, but also Dortmund with that good attempt at a comeback, shall we say, against Barcelona as well. But without any further ado, let's get into these massive 2 previews and predictions. Starting off with the game taking place tomorrow night, the one that I think most people are more intrigued about. It is Arsenal taking on Paris Saint-Germain. And we'll start off with the home side because they did, of course, beat Real Madrid home and away in that quarter-final. Not many people gave Arsenal a chance. I did, and I'm gutted that I missed out on getting both predictions near enough spot on. But it is the way that it is. But I did think Arsenal were going to beat Real Madrid, and that is exactly what they did do. And off the back of it, they have come back with a 4-0 away win against Ipswich. But they did draw 2-2 at home to Crystal Palace this time last week, which is not the greatest of result for them. Obviously, it's inevitably led to Liverpool winning the title in the Premier League this weekend. And it included another mistake from William Saliba, who's got himself a little bit sloppy over the last couple of weeks. You think about what he did in the semi-final, in the quarter-final, should I say, and then that as well. Maybe a little bit of a wobble for him. However, they didn't play their full first team in that game. The likes of Declan Rice and Mikel Merino didn't play in that game for Arsenal. As for Paris Saint-Germain, they of course won the first leg against Aston Villa, but they're going to be grateful that they got that 93rd minute goal in that first leg because they were absolutely played off the pitch, in my opinion, at Villa Park. And if it wasn't for Donnarumma and that incredible last-ditch clearance from Pacho, I think we could have been going very easily through to extra time and potentially Villa coming out on top if that game went on any longer. But they are still here. But again, they come into this off the back of a poor run of form since that game against Aston Villa. They drew away to Nantes last weekend, and then this weekend they lost 3-1 at home to Nice. And the important thing about this is, whereas Arsenal left out a couple of key players in their home draw to Palace, PSG played their full first team at home to Nice this weekend, and they lost 3-1. So they are not in a good run of form. It should be noted that Paris Saint-Germain have already wrapped up the Ligue 1 title, so they weren't exactly needing to win. But at the same time, to play your first team ahead of a massive Champions League semi-final and get beat, it's not a good look for them. In terms of the team news, PSG have a completely fully fit and available squad. No suspensions either, so they have got everyone available to them. Arsenal, as we know, are still going to have some players who are out for the remainder of the season that would be in and around this squad. The likes of Gabriel, the likes of Kai Havertz, but also Thomas Partey is going to be suspended for this first leg as well. Final thing to note in terms of the preview is that these two sides met earlier on this season in the league phase. That was on match day 2. And on that occasion, despite having less possession, Arsenal were comfortable 2-0 winners. So in my opinion, I actually think there is a lot to talk about in favour of Arsenal getting another positive result here. Obviously, PSG are a much better side than they were when these sides met back in October. They're playing a lot more free-flowing football and scoring a lot more goals. But from what I saw in that second leg against Aston Villa, if Arsenal play this right, I think they're going to easily be able to pick off Paris Saint-Germain here. I'm more than welcome to be proven wrong, but I'm going for a 3-1 victory to Arsenal in this opening leg. Second game taking place on Wednesday night then is Barcelona taking on Inter Milan. And these two sides couldn't be on any further opposite form if they tried. Barcelona, of course, as we just spoke about a minute ago, They did lose that second leg to Borussia Dortmund, but they were, of course, strong winners in the first leg, and even by the players' admission, were a little bit complacent in that second leg because they assumed that they were already through, and Champions League football does not allow for complacency. Good thing for them is they snapped themselves back to reality with that result by winning every single game since. They've won 2 games in La Liga to maintain their lead at the top of the La Liga table, and of course at the weekend beating arch rivals Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey final to secure the first of what could be an historic treble for Barcelona. For Inter Milan, obviously, like we've said, they are in the complete opposite form to Barcelona right now. They could only manage a 2-2 draw at home to Bayern Munich in the second leg, so it's a good thing for them that they did get that away win at Bayern earlier on in the first leg. But since then, back-to-back defeats in Serie A to Bologna and then Roma at home this weekend without scoring in either of those matches, meaning that now Napoli are at the top of Serie A and they are pretty clear of them now after getting their game-in-hand win last night. And furthermore, in their domestic cup, they played AC Milan in the Coppa Italia semi-final and they lost 3-0 in that as well to be eliminated from the Coppa Italia. So that means in the 3 matches since they drew 2-2 to Bayern Munich, they have lost all 3 without scoring and have basically ended their chances of winning Serie A and have been knocked out of the Coppa Italia, and now they're going up against the Barcelona side set to win La Liga and have just won the Copa del Rey. In terms of the team news, Barcelona do have a couple of key absentees. Lewandowski is going to miss at least the first leg, probably the second leg as well. Balde is out for the remainder of the season. No suspensions for Barcelona. For Inter Milan, Marcus Thuram has not featured since the second leg against Bayern Munich. He is still listed as a doubt for this one, but Denzel Dumfries made his return at the weekend and could make his way back into the starting lineup. These two sides haven't met since 2022, so we can't really read into the head-to-head record too much in regards to that. In my opinion, with how good they've been, with how poor Inter were, I think, in that second leg against Bayern, and certainly how poor Inter have been since, I think this is definitely Barcelona's game to lose. I'm going for a 2-0 victory to Barcelona. But, as always, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know anything you think I've missed regarding either of these 2 massive Champions League semi-finals. Or, as always, thank you very much for watching once again. And as I say, don't forget to check out all of the other videos we have got coming up for you over the course of this week. I'll see you there.